Cozy games versus comfort games. Is there a difference? The term cozy gaming has become such a commonly used term for indie games and games that are casual and cute and relaxing. But what about the games that don't quite fit the casual, warm, inviting, and cutesy vibe, but they still give a feeling of comfort? What is a game that is comforting for you but is not necessarily cozy? So I asked a bunch of my creator friends to give me their take, and I know what my pick is for this, but I wanted to hear theirs as well and share it with you guys. So thank you so much to my friends who participated in this YouTube video collab. First up, we have my amazing friend Ramen King. Be sure to check out his channel for in-depth reviews on cozy games. He is incredible and such a sweet and supportive friend, and I am so excited to hear his pick.
Hey guys, Ramen King here, and my comfy but not cozy game that I chose is Bloomtown: A Different Story. When I first saw this game, I immediately fell in love with how clean the pixel art was. It had this really cute and cartoonish look about it, and you have the story starting off as this typical coming-of-age summer vacation adventure, and there's even typical cozy stuff to do around the town, like fetching grandpa some butter, doing a bit of farming, and it's like, yeah, you think this game is definitely cozy, but then the story actually gets really dark and deals with things like murder, abuse, and stopping these bad people around town where you have to fight their inner demon, and actually features some pretty strategic turn-based combat that really makes you turn around and think, wait, this isn't as cozy as I thought, but man, this is still a really awesome game. You know, I've seen a lot of people get pulled in by the same things where it's seemingly this chill, cozy pixel art game, and then they get disappointed that there's not as many farming features and not quite a farming sim like they originally thought, but instead they find out that Bloomtown is actually this really amazing turn-based RPG. It's a good example of a comfy game for somebody like me because sometimes I need something with a little more storyline and a little more challenge outside of tending to the garden over and over to make money, and sometimes mental therapy comes from strategizing, slaying monsters, and leveling up in turn-based RPGs. So yeah, definitely not a cozy game, but is still a very comfy pick for me.
Thank you, Ramen, for sharing your thoughts on Bloomtown and what makes it a comfort game for you. I think Bloomtown is such a solid pick, and it's definitely a really fun game that you can get really sucked into. And also, be sure to check out Ramen's channel. Next up is Super Cutie Pie, my dear friend Finesse. Locke covers a variety of cozy games, giving her honest reviews and always having the most pristine desk setup that I've seen. I love it. She's got the good lighting, everything.
Hi, I'm Finesse. Thank you, Min, so much for inviting me on the channel today. Now, if I had to pick any comfort game right now, it would definitely, without a doubt, would be Dave the Diver. I know I'm a little bit late to the party on this one, but wow, have I been missing out on this game. Dave the Diver has a mix of adventure, management style, and some RPG elements. During the day, you dive into the blue hole to catch fish and gather resources, and by night, you're running your own exotic sushi restaurant. One of the biggest challenges is managing your oxygen levels. If you run out and die, you lose absolutely everything except one item. Plus, there are all sorts of monsters lurking in the depths. Now, as you dive, you can find different upgrades for your gear, which reminded me a lot of how silly the weapons were in the game Dead Rising. I got to smack around some fish with a bat, a golf club, and even a toy chicken. I have been so addicted to this game lately, and there's always something going on. What really impresses me is the pixel art style in this game. The detail in each tiny fish is truly stunning, and I loved the funny cutscenes, which kept the game really lighthearted and enjoyable. It's definitely my go-to comfort game because it's relaxing, yet it offers a little bit of challenge. There's something so satisfying about catching a fish, fending off the sharks and other dangerous creatures, and taking on the little boss battles here and there. I loved always trying to improve my sushi restaurant and hunting down every fish from my collection. While some might not categorize this as a cozy game, I find it to be pretty laid back, and the management style just kind of hits just right for me. So thank you, Min, so much for having me on the channel.
Thank you, Locke, for sharing your thoughts on Dave the Diver. I also think this is a really good pick. This is one that I played and I felt literally exactly the same about it. It's super fun, it's super addicting, it has these cozy elements, but it's not necessarily cozy. But it can definitely be a comforting game. Next up is a wonderful creator who I have had the honor to be a guest on his podcast called The Mario Matter. This is M. Swizzle. If you don't know M. Swizzle, please check out his channel. He is a wonderful creator and always going above and beyond in his creations and his videos. And his pick is one that I have not heard of before, so take a look.
Once upon a time, it was November 2018, and I needed a Switch game for my Christmas list, and I found Go Vacation. And although it looks like Switch game garbage, it's pretty comforting. Originally released on the Wii, Go Vacation is a big ol' party game that takes place in 4 different resorts. Either the Marine Resort, the Snow Resort, the Mountain Resort, or the City Resort. I spend most of my time in the Snow Resort though. Once you pick a resort, you can spend your time walking around, talking to people, or even participating in activities. Activities that are based on the resort. Say in the Snow Resort, you can do a snowball fight, go snow tubing, dog sledding. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. You can see animals, and it makes for a real great vacation experience that is virtual on your Switch. And there's even 4-player multiplayer. No one's left out. And if you get tired of that, you can also decorate your own home in the game, which is a little complicated, but one of my favorite parts of the game. And why is this game comforting? Well, because obviously not everyone can go on a vacation every single day, and although this game right here is very far from an actual vacation, you get a lot of fun out of the game, and then after you finish playing, you don't want to go on a vacation anymore. It's comforting after a long day of work. Hop on Go Vacation and go throw some pies. Oh, and I mentioned Nintendogs. You can have a dog with you the entire time, and you can name him or her. You have character customization. You can either use your own Mii or use a Go Vacationer that you can design. Go Vacation really is just everything all in one game, and while it may not be the most quality thing in the world, it gets the job done. And I don't necessarily consider it cozy because half the games in there you don't really want to play if you're trying to wind down and be all cozy. Or that's just me taking the snowball fights too seriously. And if you're wondering how much the game means to me, I bought it on the Wii as well. And there's no point in buying this because this is worse than this. But I bought it to collect it. That's my spiel. Thank you, Min, for having me. Go Vacation now.
This game looks like so much fun, and I'm probably going to be picking it up. He is always impressing me with his videos and his editing and just his enthusiastic personality. Next up is my sweet pal, Mriz, an incredible and wonderful creator who is my go-to for Stardew Valley content and was recently featured on the Slow Burn podcast, which I am a co-host on. Mriz has a super interesting pick. So let's hear it.
Hello, minions. Or should I say, hello. My name is Mriz, and I'm a cozy gaming creator here on YouTube and also on TikTok. Cozy gaming is such a broad term. I feel like so many games can fit into that category if you just believe hard enough. When Min first reached out to me and asked what my favorite unconventional cozy game is, the first game that came to mind to me was one of my favorite games, Death Road to Canada, an indie game released back in 2016. If you're familiar with the Oregon Trail, it's very much giving Oregon Trail vibes, except you're in a zombie apocalypse and your goal is to make it from Florida to Canada, the last zombie-free nation. Death Road to Canada is basically a randomly generated road trip simulator. You can play solo or with up to 4 friends, and you can even make custom characters to see who of your friends can survive this treacherous journey. During the 2-week journey, you'll have to make tough choices in interactive fiction text events, fight zombies, go looting, and manage your supplies in order to survive. Each day you must deal with a variety of different events, which may either help you or hurt you depending on which choices you make. In addition to the normal randomly generated characters, there are also a number of rare characters that can be met and recruited during the journey. Most of these unique characters are based on various professions, stereotypes, or are parodies of characters from other games or pop culture, like Lonk, the sword fighter, Alvis, the singer, Garf, the lazy cat who hates Mondays, or Mason, who will totally not murder everyone on the team if recruited. Every survivor has different personalities and quirks that may help or hinder you. Just be careful when making quick decisions, because death is permanent. The replayability in Death Road to Canada is unlike any other game I've played before, since everything is randomized, from locations to events to characters to personalities. There's a completely different story every single time you play, and it's set in a world that really does not take itself too seriously at all. There are so many goofy situations and Easter eggs all over the game. You truly never know what's gonna happen next. Even though the stakes seem a bit high in a game like this, I still find comfort in the game due to its hilarious nature and the memories that I've made from playing with friends. Death Road to Canada is available on Steam, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, iOS, and Android, and it's only $14.99. Definitely a super slept on game that deserves way more love.
I told Mriz that I had never seen this game before, but seeing the clips, I actually do think I've heard of this. And I've seen someone streaming it before, and it was really chaotic and really hilarious, and it just looks like a game that really sucks you in, but I've never played it before, so I'll have to check it out at some point. Next is one of my YouTube inspirations, and now friend Isha Gaming. She is one of the first female gaming creators I ever watched on YouTube, and she always gives such good recommendations and good review videos. And she's always filling up a notebook of her thoughts, and I just find it so sweet and wholesome. So let's see what game Isha picked.
Thank you, Mintendo, for having me. Now, a cozy game that is not necessarily cozy. I'm gonna have to say Core Keeper. I recently discovered this game, and I cannot believe how I have not discovered this game earlier. Now, it is a boss rushing, exploration, mining, crafting, and base building sandbox game that also has multiplayer. It is out on every single system: PC, PlayStation, Switch. I find it so cozy, and it's not supposed to be cozy, I don't think. It's supposed to be kinda scary, kinda hard, you're exploring, and it's also essentially, like I said, a boss rush game where you're taking down all of these bosses and you have to like improve your gear, collect materials, etc, etc, but you can do your base building extremely cozy. Like, for example, take my base. What do you think I did? Well, I collected the grass blocks and I replaced the ground with a lot of grass. Also, I'm having like cows and I have named them. You can have pets, you can do a lot of cooking, and you can do a lot of fishing. How is this not cozy? But it isn't marketed as cozy. It's actually marketed quite the opposite. That's why I want to say that Core Keeper is like the perfect game that I find to be cozy, even though it's not supposed to be. It's a game where you can do pretty much what you want to do, when you want to do it. You have such freedom. And I recently discovered it. I am gonna make a review over on my channel. And I am obsessed. I bought this game to my friend and we are playing online every single evening right now. We're having such a blast. Having so much fun in Core Keeper. Just wanted to let you guys know. Thank you so much, Mintendo, for having me.
I loved hearing about Core Keeper from Isha. I didn't expect that pick, but it's definitely a game I can see you liking, and I know you like now. And I can't wait to hear more of her thoughts on her own channel, so let's be sure to check that out. Now, for the next creator, last but not least, is me! I'm so funny. Some of you may have guessed it already what my pick is. My pick is Pikmin 4. I absolutely fell head over heels in love with Pikmin 4 this year. It didn't come out this year, but it's the year that I played it for the first time. And it may appear cozy with these cute little Pikmin guys, and it's so colorful, but it is definitely not cozy when you tragically watch your Pikmin die in front of your eyes, getting eaten by a bug, lighted on fire, all these things. And to make it worse, it's your fault because you are guiding the Pikmin. But don't worry, you can rewind time to revive them and try again. Pikmin are absolutely adorable, and one of my favorite parts is throwing the Pikmin at the objects that you're trying to collect and take back to your spaceship because they just make this little screaming sound as they're just so cute and full of joy, and they just do what you want. They're smart, they have different abilities. They're just adorable and I'm obsessed with them. I played about 50 plus hours of this game. It's an adventure game where you lead the Pikmin to collect items for you as you are looking for a crashed spaceship and trying to find Olimar to take him back. This game has a lot of cozy elements, but it ultimately didn't quite fit the cozy genre for me, as it did have a lot of combat and tragic loss of the Pikmin. It rips my soul from my body, but I still thoroughly enjoyed this game and my playthrough, and I almost 100%ed it except for one item that I didn't collect. I feel like more cozy gamers need to check this one out. I know it's a Nintendo first party game, but I feel like it's one of those first party games that's a bit underrated, and this game was very good entry level for me to the Pikmin series. I also felt like this game was just comforting to me based on the time that I picked it up. I really needed a game like this to suck me into the world and out of my IRL real life. Just sink me down to the perspective of a Pikmin. I totally recommend it. And thank you so much for checking out this video. And a huge thank you to the creators who took place in this collab. Please make sure to check them out. And hopefully, I'll see you in my next YouTube video. Bye!